Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Once again, it's your boy Abdul, the Health Man. I'm here another Sunday night, 9 p.m. on the Grown Folks Podcast. We're here to give you some more good information that you and your whole family can use. Today is a special day. I'm fatigued, but I'm here, and we're going to talk about herbs that act like natural antibiotics. Herbs that act like natural antibiotics. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I thought about this because a lot of people are getting sick. A lot of people are developing some form of infections. And I'm seeing more and more people have actually gum infections. So it made me think about this. What can you do naturally that acts like a natural antibiotic? Let's say you can't get to the doctor right now. Let's say that. Let's say if you can't get to the doctor. Let's say that you're not going to have another doctor's appointment for another week, and you believe you have an infection. Let's say your tooth is inflamed and is infected, and you start to develop an abscess. What can you do to keep those infections down? Well, there's natural herbs that's very, very effective for keeping infections down or getting them under control, or acts like a natural antibiotic. So we're going to talk about that. And a lot of these herbs you probably have in your kitchen cabinet, or you can go to the store and get them, or if you really fly, you you may be having some of this stuff growing in your backyard. But we're going to talk about the number one herb that acts like a natural antibiotic. And most people know what it is because you have it in your cabinet right now. And we talked about this herb in the podcast Kitchen Cabinet Cures. Remember that podcast when we went through the herbs that you have in your kitchen cabinet that you can use for good health? We talked about oregano, we talked about rosemary, we talked about cumin, and one of the main herbs we talked about was garlic. Garlic is the number one natural antibiotic that you can have in your house right now. Garlic kills bacteria. Garlic kills fungi. Garlic kills or deactivates viruses. And garlic can kill parasites. That's right, that good old-fashioned garlic. That stuff that make your breath stink. The stuff that you can smell coming through your pores. Garlic. Now, why is garlic so effective? We're going to talk about this. Garlic is the number one natural antibiotic you can use. Did you know before World War II, before they had antibiotics, in Russia they used garlic for infections? Did you know 4,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, the ancient Egyptians used garlic for infections? Did you know that during World War II, if men did not have access to antibiotics, one of the things they would consume to help them with infections were garlic. Garlic has been used through history to fight off infections. So garlic is the most powerful one I know of, natural antibiotic. Garlic has an active ingredient in it called allicin. Allicin is a sulfur component of the garlic. And there's also other sulfur components, but allicin is the most powerful. Allicin can kill gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria. Now, you're going to say, Abdul, what the heck are you talking about? Gram-negative and gram-positive. That really has to do with the type of bacteria that it is. Gram-negative have thinner walls. The bacteria actually have a thinner wall. Gram-positive have a thicker wall to the bacteria. And this is important in biochemistry, is because when you stain bacteria using certain colorings, like violet and things like that, the ones who have the thicker wall will pick up certain colors. The ones who have the thinner wall will pick up certain colors. This is the definition of gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria. You may have read this many times. This is what this means. When it's stained, what stain does these bacteria hold on to? And that puts them in that category, right? Allicin plus the other sulfur-containing phytochemicals found in garlic can kill both gram-negative and gram-positive. Now, why is that important? Because certain antibiotics only kill gram-negative and other ones only kill gram-positive. Okay? Whereas garlic can kill them both. Garlic even kills tuberculosis. It's been shown to kill the bacteria that causes tuberculosis. It deactivates viruses, such as influenza, herpes, simplex 1 and 2. Okay? It deactivates them. Remember, viruses are not bacteria. We know that. And they work differently. They feed their information by locking onto the cell, puncturing a hole in the cell, pushing its mRNA into the cell, goes into the nuclei, makes the nuclei now, or the DNA or the cell itself, starts to make more of the actual virus itself. And then it blows a hole in the cell and all those new viruses come out. That's the way viruses work. They're not like bacteria. They work differently. They actually take over your cell, make your cell, your mechanicism in your cell, the workhouse of the cell. It takes it over. It turns the factory that used to create new cells or new information. It creates that. It takes over that factory and says, you're going to produce more of me. And then when it produces enough, it blows open the cell, and it goes out and does more work on other cells the same exact way. Well, garlic deactivates that function by stopping that messenger RNA. It inhibits it deactivates the virus itself. Garlic is excellent for staph infections. Excellent for staph infections. Garlic is excellent for E. coli infections. Okay? So we got staph, we got gram-positive, gram-negative, we got tuberculosis, we got what else I said? E. coli. It can also kill protozoa. These are type of bacteria, or not really bacteria. They like some type of fungi / parasite. So it kills protozoa, and it inhibits mycotoxins being formed. Now, what is mycotoxins? You say, Abdul, you giving me all this information. Mycotoxins usually come from fungi. Hey, you ever see you ever heard of a thing called black mold? And these spores and this stuff get up in the air? Well, not only does it create spores, it creates a toxin in the air. These are called myco, M-Y-C-O toxins that are damaging and become carcinogenic and deadly to a human being. Well, garlic inhibits those mycotoxins. So it stops these toxins that will kill you. It inhibits them. It breaks them down. That allicin, those sulfur-containing components, break it down. So not only is your garlic killing the fungus, it is inhibiting the toxin that the fungus is releasing. It's like giving you the gun and the bulletproof vest at the same time. Or it's going to war with the sword and the shield. See, a lot of times antibiotics are going to war with a gun and a sword. But they're not shielding you from the toxins that's being released from the bacteria, the virus, or the fungi that's inside you. What garlic gives you the benefits of killing and protecting you. God bless us, and God bless nature. Because nature knows how to do its job properly. So garlic. Now, and that's not only the only bacteria it kills. There's multiple bacteria it kills. I just lumped them up as gram-negative and gram-positive. That means it kills an array of different bacteria. Array of different bacteria. The key is this, though. This is the key. When taking garlic, how much can you take? You want to take between 3 to 5 grams to have antibiotic effects. 3 to 5 grams. Don't come to me and say, you know, Abdul, I had a sore throat. I took 1 clove of garlic and it didn't do anything. No. You need to take 3 to 5 grams. That means you need to be taking at least 2 to 3 of those cloves a day. That means if you're taking the capsules, you're taking 2 capsules 3 times a day. Or if you have a bad infection, you're taking 3 capsules 3 times a day until the infection is gone. Okay? This is extremely important when you talk about dealing with natural antibiotics. It's the dosage that counts. You can't come to me and tell me you've only been taking 1 capsule a day and you expect results. This ain't erythromycin. This is natural. So you have to take more to get the effects that you want. So 3 to 5 grams of garlic a day will be a powerful natural antibiotic. And that's number 1. Garlic. I stayed on that a little longer because that's how effective garlic is. Garlic is that strong. You know they call garlic the natural penicillin? You know garlic actually kills more bacteria than penicillin does. And penicillin is only an antibiotic. And garlic is an antibiotic, antifungal, antiviral, antiparasitic. Garlic is powerful if you take it right. Garlic is powerful if you take it right. Okay? So, that's garlic. That's number 1 antibiotic out there. Number 2, you probably heard of this too. It's called golden seal, better known as yellow root. We talked about golden seal. Why is golden seal so effective? Why is golden seal so effective? Golden seal has an active ingredient in it called what? Berberine. You hear people talking about berberine. Oh, yeah, I use berberine for my blood sugar. I use berberine for my cholesterol. I use berberine to help me lose weight. But golden seal naturally has an active ingredient in it called berberine. Berberine was researched as a natural antibiotic. Most of the research was done on berberine was not about cholesterol and all that. That's newer. Most of it was done on the antimicrobial effects of berberine. Berberine kills gram-positive bacteria. Now remember, garlic kills what? Gram-positive and gram-negative. Berberine or golden seal is more effective on gram-positive bacteria, such as like a hard one, MRSA. You've heard of MRSA. That skin disease that they don't have any antibiotics to get rid of. They call it the eating wizard, flesh-eating disease, flesh-eating bacteria, excuse me. That's MRSA. Well, Golden Seal is effective against MRSA. It's very good for staph infection. Very good for staph infection, as well as strep. Excellent for gum infections. You got a problem going on with your gums. You got periodontist disease. You got an abscess. You have an infected tooth. You should be consuming Golden Seal. Okay? You should be consuming Golden Seal. If you have a candida infection, Golden Seal is antifungal. Not all fungus, but it's extremely good for killing candida and yeast. Candida is yeast, excuse me. It can help with C. diff infections. Clostridium difficile. We talked about this many times on how probiotics are used in hospitals in Canada to treat C. diff. Well, guess what is another great herb that can go along with that? Is Golden Seal. If you've been having diarrhea or gastrointestinal issues, Golden Seal is excellent for you. It can help, not kill, but it will help with H. pylori bacteria. And one of the reasons why it's very hard to kill H. pylori, it encapsulates itself. It encapsulates itself. So that bacteria creates a capsule outside of it, making it very difficult to kill it. But Golden Seal can inhibit the growth of H. pylori, but it is not strong enough to truly get rid of it all the way. Okay? Extremely good for dealing with sore throats. You got Golden Seal, you got a sore throat, drink a cup. Drink a cup. Golden Seal will help you knock out a sore throat or throat infection. Golden Seal. Golden Seal is also excellent for the common cold. We already know that, people. Golden Seal is excellent for the common cold. It's also extremely effective for eye infections. You have pink eye, conjunctivitis better known as, or pink eye is better known as, conjunctivitis is what it's called. Use Golden Seal. Golden Seal will get rid of your pink eye if you do it as an eye wash. Now, don't sit here and tell everybody that Abdul told you to boil Golden Seal root and then you're supposed to run it straight through your eyes while it's hot. No, let it get to room temperature and run it through your eyes twice a day. Do you know that one of the active ingredients found in Golden Seal is how they came up with Visine? It gets rid of redness in your eye. One of the active ingredients found in Golden Seal to get rid of the redness in the eye is what makes up Visine. Golden Seal, the same way Valium was studied from valerian root. Okay? And Golden Seal is one of the best for dealing with cystic acne. You got teenagers, you got adults who got real bad skin. Drink Golden Seal root. It will clear up your skin. Also, make a facial wash for Golden Seal. You can take the powder, wet your face, rub a little bit on, keep it on for 15 to 20 minutes, and wash it off. Golden Seal is another great product that acts like a natural antibiotic. So Golden Seal. Another good one. Let's go through the list. I hope y'all got your pen and pads out. I hope you got your pen and pads out. I am dropping antibiotics for y'all. Number 3. I thought about this one because Deborah hit me up while I was driving back yesterday from Maryland, talking about somebody who had she knew who had a tooth infection and couldn't get to the doctor, and they needed something. And I texted her back when I finally got home, why don't you use number 3, cloves? Cloves. You're going to say, Abdul, why cloves? Because cloves is a strong antimicrobial. Now, I told her clove oil, but cloves kill E. coli. E. coli. Cloves kill E. coli bacteria. Cloves are excellent for intestinal infections. So if you know someone's dealing with intestinal infection, you can drink clove tea. It's going to help. It's extremely effective for dealing with gum infections. The same way golden seal is, you can use cloves. Cloves with golden seal will be excellent. It disinfects, dentists back in the day used to use it to disinfect root canals. It disinfects root canals. It also can kill many different forms of fungi in the intestinal tract. And it's excellent for toothaches, and it's also really good for people who deal with food poisoning. Cloves. So cloves can help a lot with gastrointestinal issues, especially infections, intestinal infections, and oral infections. Cloves is extremely effective against that. One of the things that they found that people who use cloves as a marinade had less chances of getting food poisoning because you kill so many microbes. Remember I told y'all a little while ago they did a study on seasonings that's really good for killing bacteria. And one of the seasonings that they used that they found that was the best, killed like 89% of all bacteria on the meat, was jerk seasoning. Because of the peppers, the onions, the garlic, the pimento seeds, the cloves, all these things are found in that seasoning. Well, those things are antimicrobial. So if you season your food properly with certain spices like cloves, you can reduce your risk of getting food poisoning or intestinal infections such as E. coli, salmonella, things like that. So cloves are excellent as a natural antimicrobial, natural antibiotic. Now, garlic and golden seal are stronger, but cloves are effective. Thyme. Number 4, thyme. Now, thyme is excellent, really in the form of thyme oil. Thyme oil is a really strong antimicrobial. But thyme itself, the herb, is also the same because you extract the oil from the herb. The active ingredient in thyme is called thymol. Thymol. It's Thymol. Okay? It inhibits the growth of bacteria. It's excellent for bronchial issues. Thyme is excellent for bronchial issues and bronchial infections, along with garlic and some other things, but inhibits the growth of bacteria in the lungs. It also inhibits the growth of bacteria and fungi in the sinus. In the sinus. So people who are prone to having sinus infections can do well by drinking thyme tea. Also, it's excellent for gum health. It's antimicrobial. It's going to kill bacteria that cause gum disease. And to show you that, look at your Listerine bottle. One of the ingredients that's usually found in Listerine outside of alcohol is thymol. Or thymol, if you want to say that. It's because it's so effective for killing the bacteria that causes what? Gingivitis. And if you have sinus infections continuously, take that same time and mix it with this next one, oregano. Take that next one and mix it with oregano. Number 5, oregano oil. Oregano oil, okay. All right, so let me explain. There's levels to oregano oil. You got your typical oregano that you get in the seasonings that has antimicrobial effects, but they're not as strong as the oregano, wild organic oregano oil. They're not as strong. Now, wild organic oregano oil, these are usually found in high elevations up in Turkey and places like that you find in a health food store. These are stronger antimicrobial. Oregano itself has that effect. The season that you get has that effect. The wild oregano is not a seasoning. It's stronger. If you ever chew it, it burns your tongue because of the oregano oil that's in it. It can kill staph. It can kill viruses. It can kill fungi. It can kill protozoa. Parasites hate it. And it's one of the most powerful things against antibiotic-resistant bacteria. You hear this going around, bacteria that's resistant to different antibiotics. Oregano oil is powerful that it can deal with bacteria that are resistant to your typical antibiotics. Now, there's certain type of bacteria that penicillin won't kill anymore, that it used to 20 years ago or 30 years ago. Well, guess what can affect those bacteria? Oil of oregano. Okay? There's bacteria that zithromycin can't kill anymore. But guess what affects them? Oil of oregano. Because there's so many different components to oil of oregano outside of clavicol that most people look for. There's 84 different components found in oil of oregano that enhances the benefit of clavicol, that allows antibiotic-resistant bacteria not to become resistant to oil of oregano. It's too many different components. Penicillin affects bacteria a certain way. That's it. It's one way to get inside this bacteria to kill it. That bacteria mutates, and then that penicillin, it mutates the door. I say, shit, excuse my language, I'm sorry. Shoot, I'm gonna change my lock. You just can't get in here like that no more. I learned. No. You ain't gonna kill me like that no more. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. The bacteria says, I'm not going to be shamed anymore. The heck with that. You can't kill me like that no more. And the penicillin say, well, this is the only way I work. I can only go right. I see you change your doorknob to left. I can only go right. Well, oil of oregano say, hey, baby. I go right, I go left, I come through the window. I come out through the basement. I'll bust open the roof. I have many different components to get inside you. So they are really good against antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Oil of oregano is good for that. Oil of oregano is also good for the common cold and the flu virus. Excellent for the virus that causes COVID, better known as COVID-19. Excellent for COVID. And extremely effective against respiratory infections and illnesses. And it could knock out a sinus infection. So oil of oregano, another really good herb that acts like a natural antibiotic. Coptis root. Most people are going to say, what the heck is that? Coptis root. Coptis root. It is found in Chinese medicine. Excellent herb for killing strep and staph, E. coli. Why is that? This is another herb that's rich in what nutrient? Berberine. Really good for people who deal with abscesses. So if you have a gum infection, a mouth infection, Coptis is really good. Just in that same family as golden seal. Helps with sore throats. Coptis is unique. Coptis helps get rid of biofilm. You're going to say, Abdul, what the heck is biofilm? Biofilm is a secretion that bacteria and certain fungi release to protect themselves. It's like protecting them. It's almost like, think of biofilm as like you looking at a slug or a snail. You're looking at a slug or a snail, and it has this mucus all over it. That mucus protects that snail and that slug. It protects it. That slipperiness of it. Well, that's what biofilm does for fungi and certain bacteria. Is this film. And guess what happens? Certain things cannot break through that film. That sludge. But Coptis root can dissolve and break down biofilm. Remember we talked about H. pylori encases itself in a capsule. Well, what is that type of capsule made of? It's like a biofilm. This bacteria say, holy crap, I know these things trying to kill me. Let me surround myself with something that makes it harder for them to attach onto me and kill me. I'm not stupid. I'm a surround myself with something. Well, Coptis roots say, hey, my ingredients, along with berberine and the other active ingredients found in my root, will break down this biofilm, making it easier for me to kill you. And that's what Coptis root does. It breaks down biofilm. So you can use Coptis root with your garlic to help you get rid of those fungi much better in the system. You can use Coptis root along with your oil of oregano to help you get rid of that bacterial infection that's been plaguing you for so long. Coptis root. Another great herb. And these two, Oregon grapefruit and barberry, do the same thing. So I'm going to go over them as though they're one. So this is Oregon grapefruit and barberry. They both kill staph and strep. And why I keep saying these? Because these are the most common infections. You know, how many people you know keep getting staph or strep infections? I got strep throat. I got staph infection. I got a cut. I got a staph infection. Not only does it kill strep and staph, it kills E. coli, one of the most deadly pathogens when it comes down to what you eat. And how many people got E. coli poison and it killed them from eating the wrong meats or anything like that, undercooked food. Even though it's a bacteria already in your intestinal tract, when it overgrows, it wreaks havoc. Barberry and Oregon grapefruit kills these. These herbs also kill salmonella. They kill salmonella and Shigella. It's very good for people who deal with diarrhea. It's one of the best if you are having a fever. It will help you break your fever. And these herbs also stimulate your appetite. So you've been dealing with an infection, you're not hungry, you drink these herbs, at least it kind of like builds you up. Another good herb we all heard of is ginger. That's right. Old-fashioned ginger. Old-fashioned ginger. Ginger is another one they did tons of research for. They talked about how effective ginger is. The most common drink in the world is like ginger, lemon, and honey, or how effective it is as an antimicrobial, and how it kills, like just drinking that just kills so many different types of bacteria. Ginger is a natural antibiotic. Now, ginger is not as strong as garlic, golden seal, barberry, and all them other things, but it kills many different types of bacteria. That's why when you have a sore throat, some people say, hey, let me go get my ginger root. Let me start drinking ginger tea to help my sore throat. Oh, it's helping my sore throat. Well, what do you think it's doing there? It's reducing inflammation, and it's killing the bacteria that affects the throat. Usually that could be strep or staph or some other type of bacteria. It neutralizes certain viruses, ginger. As we all know, it's good for gas. It improves pore circulation. Ginger improves pore circulation. Ginger is a catalyst. Remember we talked about this when it came down to cayenne pepper. We said cayenne pepper is a catalyst. That means any herb that you add to cayenne pepper works better, because it improves the circulation in the body, and it stimulates absorption of other herbs. Well, ginger does the same. Ginger is a catalyst because it improves blood circulation, and it improves the absorption of any herb that you add with it. Any nutrient that you add with it, ginger is going to help it. Ginger helps with stomach cramps. Excellent for headaches. We said sore throats. Deactivates certain viruses, so it's really good for dealing with cold and flu. It's one of the go-tos for everyone who deals with a cold or a flu. The first thing they say, I need to get my ginger tea. Or let me go over to the store and get a fresh cup. Give me some fresh ginger to chop up the drink. Especially if you do it with lemon, it's banging. The other day I wasn't feeling that good, and one of my coworkers made me ginger lemon tea. What? This junk was banging. I got to give her props. She did a great job with it. It helps with vomiting, and it helps with nausea. It helps with vomiting and nausea. Ginger. Last but not least, there's another great herb out here. Now, there's more herbs than what I'm telling y'all, but I don't want to give you 25 different herbs. Philodendron. So this is another one in the Chinese families you may find. It's Philodendron. Is in that same family as coptis root. Really good for liver issues. Oh my God, it's excellent for liver issues. It like unclogs, if you want to say that, unclogged liver, congested liver. Really good for bowel production. Excellent for a sore throat. Excellent for infections of gram-positive. Gram-positive is in that same family that you're getting golden seal, Philodendron. It's excellent for gram-positive bacteria. It deals with stomach infections. Really good for helping with sinus infections. But Philodendron works well with other herbs. So it goes better when you add it with coptis. It works better when you add it with barberry. It works better when you add it with ginger. It works better when you add it with cayenne pepper. Philodendron by itself is good. When you add it with other stimulating herbs, other antimicrobial herbs, it becomes a powerhouse. It's like it becomes like superpower. It becomes like a superpower herb. Philodendron by itself is good. When you add it with complementary herbs, it becomes a powerhouse. It becomes great. It becomes like Voltron or Justice League, if you want to say that. By itself as one superhero, it's okay. When you put it along with the other superheroes, it can save the world. Philodendron is really good for sore throats. Philodendron is also excellent for dealing with oral infections, such as periodontal disease, such as abscess, such as swollen tonsils, inflamed tonsils. And philodendron is also good for conjunctivitis, pink eye. Not as strong as golden seal, but also helps. Now, I'm going to give y'all a few honorable mentions. Manuka honey. Manuka honey is not an herb, but it's a honey. And Manuka honey has an active ingredient that kills gram-positive, gram-negative bacteria, has been shown to deactivate certain viruses, and is immunostimulant. Excellent for prevention infections, especially like MRSA. Did you know that it's actually being used to treat for MRSA? That antibiotic-resistant skin-eating bacteria? Manuka honey helps with that. If you got a severe burn, Manuka honey heals it by preventing infection and healing the wound. Manuka honey is also excellent for sore throats. Okay? And Manuka honey has been shown to help deal with ulcers. So if you have an ulcer, use Manuka honey. Along with DGL, deglycinated licorice root, will help you out a lot. Another antimicrobial that's an honorable mention I didn't put up because it's not an herb, it's more of an oil, is tea tree oil. That's right, tea tree oil. Now, you're not necessarily drinking tea tree oil, but you can gargle with it. You can use it in a nasal spray to get rid of infections in nasal passages. You can use it externally to get rid of ringworm. You can use it to get rid of cystic acne and fungal infections of the skin. It helps with dandruff, seborrhea. It helps with jock itch. You know? So tea tree oil helps with periodontal disease. I mean, tea tree oil, anything that has to do with the skin, tea tree oil is very good. And last but not least, apple cider vinegar. The acidity in apple cider vinegar, oh my God. And the mother, it kills many different microbes. You could, listen, one of the things I was doing when I had the foot fungus is that I was soaking my foot in, hydrogen peroxide, food grade hydrogen peroxide, 35% in some water. And the next day, because that became a little expensive, I would also soak my foot in apple cider vinegar. Kills the fungus. Kills bacteria. Okay? So those are some of the things that acts like natural antibiotics. Now, I'm going to open up the line to answer any questions anyone has, or you can unmute yourself if you want to, and you can ask me any questions. Go unmute yourself. Or do I show y'all want me to unmute you? I gotta mute y'all if need be. I will unmute you. I will unmute you. Anybody have any questions? I'm gonna unmute you.
Health man.
Yes, Latoya. What's going on?
Health man, I hope all is well. Yes, sir. Health man, you gave a wealth of information, so I'm going to use it because I don't know. I was out for 2 days, was in a grocery store, and Wednesday I was sick.
Oh, yeah. It's something going on. People are getting this dry cough, this cough.
Oh, wow.
I see that right now, so there's a lot of people. But, yeah, you got... Hey, the funny thing, let's say if you're not feeling good right now, if you have garlic in your house and you have a little bit of thyme and oregano seasoning, you can make that. Or you can have garlic and onion plus a little bit of rosemary, and that'd be also effective. So there's a lot of herbs that you can use. Like we said, when we did the kitchen cabinet cures, it was a lot of stuff that most people have in their house that they don't even know how effective it is. But garlic, rosemary, thyme, oregano, all that stuff is excellent for knocking out infections. But if you feel like something hit you, hit it hard. This is the key. LaToya. And I always tell people this. You don't play around with colds, flu, infections. You hit it hard. So if you're going to do garlic, golden seal, and all these other things, the dosage makes all the difference in the world. 3 grams of garlic, if you have capsules, that is 2 capsules 3 times a day. If it's a bad infection, it's a bad cold, you want to do 3 capsules 3 times a day. If you want it in capsules. If you have the cloves, you want to take about 2 to 3 cloves a day throughout the day. That doesn't necessarily mean you do it all at one time. The dosage makes the difference when you're treating different diseases, and especially bacterial infections. This is extremely important. When you're treating bacterial infections, you don't go weak. You go hard because you can make the bacterial infection last too long. It's almost like someone who takes antibiotics and do not finish it. They say, okay, I'm feeling good after 5 days, even though the antibiotics are supposed to be meant for taking the 8 to 9 days. I'm feeling good after 5 days. You actually allow the bacteria to come back. The same thing when it comes down to dealing with natural products for antibiotics. You hit it hard, and you hit it a minimum 5 to 10 days. Now, cold or something like that, when you feel better, you feel better. But infections, we don't play with them because infections can hurt. Your body can be hurt seriously by an infection. So that's what I have to say about that. But yeah, LaToya, hit it hard.
Okay. Thank you, Healthman.
No problem. Anybody else?
Good night. Thanks for the information.
No problem at all. Yes.
Wanted to find out about the garlic. I use garlic every day, but I wanted to find out the best way of taking it. Should it be 4 meals on alone by itself, or is there a special way?
No. There's no special way. If you're using it just for daily, that's great. There's no special way. You always do it with food, though. Garlic, you don't want to necessarily always take on an empty stomach. Depending on the person, it can bother their stomach. But if you're using it as a seasoning, that's perfect. When you're using it for infection fighting, that's different. So using it for everyday use is cooking, that's great. That's perfect. That is prevention. That's prevention. So you're not worried about, like, if you're seasoning your food with garlic, onion, peppers, and all of them, you're preventing microbial growth. And you're giving yourself blood pressure benefits. You're getting anti-infection benefits. You're getting cholesterol benefits. All them other benefits like that. If you came down and said, Abdul, I have a staph infection, then I say, okay. If you're talking about the fresh garlic, we want to do a 3 to 4 cloves of this every day. You want to space them out. Take 1 clove 3 times a day. You want to crack it. You want to put it in hot water, let it sit in there for about 15 to 20 minutes. You want to drink that down. And you want to make sure you crush that garlic up so you ingest that really good after you eat. You want to do that 3 to 4 times a day because we're knocking something out. When my brother back in the day had a staph infection, he used to get strep infection. He used to get strep throat. And my father allowed me, and he said, listen, I'm going to give you 3 days. He gave me 3 days. I gave my younger brother, and he used to get this all the time. He used to get it at least 4 times a year, and he would get antibiotics. I said, I used to call, Abuya, let me try this. He said, okay, I'll give you 3 days. I gave my brother a cup of golden seal and garlic tea 4 times a day. 4 times a day. To give me an opportunity to get rid of this, and it won't come back because the antibiotics, it just keeps coming back. 4 times a day. By the 2nd day, his throat was feeling much better. By the 3rd day, my father worked in the medical field and stuff like that. He was a PA, physician assistant. So he would look at my brother's throat. He could say, oh, this thing is really working. It's clearing it up. And he believed the nerves and all that other stuff, but he was like, yeah, it's really clearing it up really fast. And I did this for my brother for 7 days. By the 4th or 5th day, you couldn't even see any infection in his throat. But I stayed on it for another 7 days, 3 more days to make sure it was all gone. But that's what you do. You don't play around. You hit it hard.
Right.
So, yes, what you're doing, taking garlic every day, is excellent.
Yeah, but can you use it also for wound healing, and how would you use it?
If it was for wound healing, I wouldn't necessarily use garlic. I would actually use something a little different. I would use golden seal as a wound healer, and I will also use maybe manuka honey. Garlic is not necessarily the best as a wound healer because the garlic itself, the sulfurs in it, can irritate the skin. So I wouldn't use that. I would use some other herbs like golden seal. I would use aloe vera. I would use manuka honey, things like that that heals the wound, that also will protect the wound itself and keep it antimicrobial too. Not oil of oregano, maybe colloidal silver, things like that.
But putting it on the wound or using it, internally?
I will use garlic internally, and I will use other herbs to put on the wound. If you had an open wound, I will use other herbs. Like I said, golden seal, not oil of oregano, that's irritating. Like colloidal silver, that's a spray you can get that can also be antimicrobial, that also will help heal the wound. Aloe vera will help heal the wound. Things like that will be very effective.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Before we shut it down, for the night.
Ivadane speaking. Hi.
What's going on, Ivadane?
Everything that you talked about, it's all going on. I have it swirling in my head like a good dream. It's really nice. I'm thinking it would be good to put together baskets, winter baskets, with those little things in it, And can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly. I'm listening.
Yeah. To put together winter, like get well, stay well baskets.
I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. The only thing is that how many people want a winter basket full with garlic? This is what you give me. You give me some coal.
No, it would be the garlic, the cloves, the golden seal, and instructions. So stay well, get well.
I like that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I like that.
But I thank you for that. And I just mentioned again, Cicely Tyson was never without her cayenne pepper. Never without her cayenne pepper.
And cayenne pepper, the truth. Yeah.
Yeah, she lived a very long time. And the manuka honey is also good for your eyes.
See, I've heard that. You could put it in your eye. You could use it as an eye drop, yes?
Yeah. Yep. But thank you very much. And thank you for coming back from Maryland and providing us with all of this wealth of information.
Don't worry. When I get off, I'm shutting down.
I know that's the truth.
Anybody else before we go? Well, and like I said, if no one has a question, I will tell you this. Like I said, it's extremely important about the dosage. I cannot stress that enough. I cannot stress the dosage enough. Oh, I'm going to give you another story. So, my son's mother, back in the day, she had an infection, right? She had an infection. And, no, she didn't have an infection. My oldest son had an infection. He had an infection. And he was only a couple of months old. So, what I told her to do, I gave her a garlic capsules, 2 capsules every 3 hours, every 3 to 4 hours. Because he developed an ear infection. That's what it was. I gave her 2 capsules of garlic every 3 to 4 hours. And I said, because she was like, he has to go to the doctor. I said, just give me a chance. Let me do what I do. So, by the second day, his ear infection was clearing up because she was breastfeeding him, and the garlic, all the components of the garlic that I wanted to give to him because he was too young, her body will metabolize it, break it down, and pass it on through the milk. And that's what got rid of his ear infection. And guess what? He never got another ear infection because I said, listen, if we go give him antibiotics right now, like most kids, when they get an ear infection, they get antibiotics. And then from this point on, they're always going to need antibiotics. I said, but let me give him some garlic by giving it to you. And that's what she did. He got rid of the ear infection, never needed antibiotics for the ear infection, Got rid of it, never had another reoccurring ear infection. Because I allowed his body, I just gave his body the ammunition to help fight it off. I gave him the natural antibiotics to help fight it off. Yeah, and I let his body fight it off. So.
How you doing? This is Dr. James. I had a question for you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's good for an eye infection?
You can use golden seal and you can use manuka honey. Golden seal is one of the best.
Golden seal, it comes in capsules, right?
You can open them up, make tea out of them, or you can get the herb and run the golden seal through your eye. You literally take a cup of the tea, or you have the cup, what they call them, the eye cups, or you could take the cup of tea and run the golden seal slowly through your eyes while the tea is at room temperature. When it's cool. At room temperature, you want to run that through your eye. You want to do that like twice a day, up to 3 times a day. And that will help you fight off whatever eye infection you have. You can also take the capsules of golden seal.
Mm-hmm.
You could take them, ingest them, and you can run it through your eye. It'll help you knock it out much faster.
So that's only golden seal is the only one?
No, you can use philodendron, but with an eye infection, golden seal is strong enough by itself. Golden seal, I can tell you to use golden seal, and I know it sounds funny with a little bit of cayenne pepper. Most people are like, it's going to burn. But actually, cayenne pepper would actually help get rid of it even faster. It even has an active ingredient in cayenne pepper called capsanthin that's really good for dealing with inflammation in the eye, redness in the eye, infection in the eye, and all them other things. But if you want to avoid the stinging that come with cayenne pepper, golden seal is strong enough on its own. You can do golden seal, you can ingest garlic, or you can ingest a barberry, or you can ingest philodendron. You can do multiple things, but golden seal to run through the eye is strong enough usually on its own to get rid of your typical eye infection. And you will do that over the next coming days.
How many days?
It depends on the eye infection. I would say you should do it you should consume golden seal for about a week. You could take it internally, 2 capsules up to 3 times a day, and I will run it through the eye at least for the next 5 to 7 days, at least once or twice a day. If you notice that it's clearing up, I will get down to like maybe once, or I will do it in the beginning like 2 to 3 times a day, running through your eye. Afterwards, once it clears up, I go down to once a day. But I will stay on the capsules for about a week. That's what I would do.
All right.
That should really help you out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Right.
All right, everyone. I guess we are good to go tonight. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Health Man Show. Once again, I appreciate y'all tuning in. We are going to meet next week, same time, same place, different topic. All right, everyone. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll speak to y'all later. Take care, everyone.